get the live chat on. We are good. Sinfuls is on board. How you doing, Sinfuls? What's going on, Rich? We had a really busy week this week. So this week this month we actually had our best numbers ever. We actually hit a really good area. We hit 250,000, 260,000 views for the month. That's our highest ever. And I think November is going to be just as good. We'll see what happens. Just wait until we get a few more people on here. We also had our highest month as far as one of our videos hit 70,000 that I did about a month ago. That's really good. How you doing, Michael? Welcome aboard. And the video I just posted is kind of like a second video to something I did before, which is about people that have estranged kids and stuff like that. And I was lucky that this week I actually got back together with my daughter talking to her. So tonight I'm going to have pretty much open to everything. But we'll try to stay off politics a little bit. We can touch it a little bit, but let's see. Gavin's Journey to True Freedom. Hello, everyone. TLM, good evening from Quezon City. We're up to about 14 people. 4 thumbs up. Let's see, we'll get some stuff going on. If you guys want to start shooting some questions or whatever, or start some talk about something, any subject. Dean is on board. Hi, y'all. Let's see. We will be meeting for Veterans Day next week, Dean. EMZ Green. Good morning. Watching from KC. There we go. Kansas City. Let's see. Who else we got on here? So we got 18 people on here so far. Let's see if we can reach 100 tonight, maybe. Simple says, hello all. I got a couple of other good subjects coming up this week. I actually had an epiphany about adding on some extra people that want to vlog on the channel about different subjects, and we can make it like kind of like a true channel, which is going to be kind of cool. And they're going to be adding their own touch to the channel. So we'll all be adding, and people can just kind of choose different people to watch whatever they want to watch. Randy Smith says, good evening from Korea. Nice to catch you live. Thanks, Randy. TLM had a question regarding Medicare Part B. I watched your video on that. Sure. Medicare doesn't really work over here, so I'll say it's kind of like a non-issue. If you don't plan on going back, if you get cancer or something like that, it might help you. I have no intention on going back. I bought insurance here, but that's what I think about Medicare, because that money comes in handy to buy insurance. So Francisco Fleta says hello. Camilio Navaza says good morning, watching from San Diego, California. How you doing, Camilio? Clyde Lampy. We're actually getting a lot of new people on here. I'm actually happy to see that we'll get a really good group on here tonight. Clyde Lampley. We always have a good group on here, but it's going to be kind of neat to have some new blood on here tonight. Let's see. TLM says, I have plans on going back only once a year for yearly checkup. Is it worth it? No, because I think you can get a good yearly checkup here if you really want to, if you get a good doctor here. And I mean, if you have the VA, you get that anyway. I'm not sure if you have the VA or not. If you have even a 10% disability, you can get the free checkup there. So why actually go home? And you can get a checkup here, right down the street here at one of the places here. It's very cheap, and there's some hospitals that offer deals on that. If you join a hospital, and they'll cover you totally here. If you join one hospital, and they're going to do everything to you if you get inpatient. I forget, there's different charges for each hospital. It's almost like insurance, and you buy this plan and everything is taken care of at that hospital, but God forbid you have to go outside that hospital. You know what I'm saying? So that's where insurance might be better. But some people, if it's a good hospital, it might be worth it. If it's a hospital up in Manila and it's a really good one, why not? Let's see. Clyde says, hi, I'm glad to see you live. TLM, let's see. TLM says, no VA, unfortunately. Yeah, that's not good. Maximus says, hello, Steve. Good evening to you. Jonathan Huckle, hi, Steve. TLM, on average, how much would it cost here in the Philippines? It really depends on the hospital. I really can't give you like a. I don't know because I go to the VA, so I really can't tell you. I can tell you it'd be probably half or less of what it costs in the U.S. to go get a really good checkup, get all your blood tests and stuff like that. Actually, it might even be less than that right down the street here. So I mean, they do a thing down there. They'll do all the blood tests and all the checkups and all that stuff, and the doctor will sit down with you and talk to you about everything. And I don't know what they charge. It's very cheap. It might even be a third or less. It's very cheap compared to the U.S. Just the facts, ma'am, says Ed, checking in from Cleveland, Ohio. Um, the home of rock and roll. Silent Long Watcher, keep up the good work. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. TLM says, I've heard Guam is definitely not worth it. Yeah, Guam, it doesn't have, from what I understand, and I've talked to a few people that have gone there, they said that the VA there is not really that great. I'm not sure if they can send you to the hospital. I'm not sure if that falls under FMP, how that works there. And it's a clinic. I do know that. I do know, from what I understand, it's a clinic over there. So I would not recommend Guam. Hawaii, maybe. California, because it's closer than going to New England if you live in New England or something like that. That's about it. I don't recommend Guam. If it was something really serious and you had to get there quick, yeah, Guam might be it. Might be the place for you to go. But it's still a clinic, VA hospital. I think they might let you use the military hospitals. I think they kind of work hand in hand, but I haven't verified that yet. But other people have said that they do, so I'm not sure. I don't want to say yes. I would say check it. TLM, would you let's see. Just the facts, man. I'm so glad that it is getting easier to travel to the PHP. Yes, it's very easy now. You can just come in here if you have no shots. You can do the rapid antigen within 24 hours. So that's a good thing. And now they get the new e-travel or whatever it's called there, which is making life a lot easier too. And you can actually fill it out when you get here. If you don't fill it out before you leave, you can fill it out when you get here. So that's a good thing. Frederick Walker says, good morning from here. TLM says, oh, okay, I appreciate your input. Timmy says, can you comment on Bama's court case? I don't know much about what's going on with Bama. I don't really follow that. He used to be a friend of mine. We did talk in the beginning and stuff like that. I don't have nothing against the guy. I think he has a lot of problems. I'm not sure what's going to happen with him. Have heard some stories. I don't know about the court case. If you can send me a link to that, I'd love to check it out later. But I don't follow that. I really don't. I don't get into that because I just like to come up with my own content, to be honest with you. And I don't follow other vloggers that much. In fact, I rarely ever watch them. So that's why we have, our content's probably totally different than other people's. I don't even know what they're showing on the other for content lately because I haven't checked it for a while. Once in a while, I'll go on and check on there just to see if something new is coming up. When I know that, like when they had when they lifted all the stuff, I checked. We didn't really cover that because there was so many people covering it already, and a lot of the stuff they change as they go through it. So it's kind of hard to cover, and what we cover is totally different than what other people cover. We cover kind of the life that goes on in here and stuff like that, the lifestyle and things like that. We do cover that once in a while, but I figured this time here I'd leave it to those guys, because when you get into that and you post something on it, the next day, boom, everything's changed. Everything that they put out the first time has always changed. So this time here it didn't change that much. So let's see. Just the facts, headed to Cagayan de Oro in 15 days. Can't wait to be back among the friendly people of the Philippines. Jonathan Huckle says the UK are going to have a vote in Parliament on the triple lock for pensions, which is our equivalent of COLA raise, because inflation is so high. That's actually good that they're doing that. I think every pensioner should have some sort of COLA raise every year. Sinful says, by the time you spend money to travel to those places for a checkup, you certainly get a thorough checkup up in the Philippines at one of the better hospitals in Manila. Yes, you can go to one of the really good hospitals in Manila and probably get just as good, if not better, than back in the U.S. in some cases. I mean, some of the hospitals in the United States are actually lacking now because they're having a lot of problems there. I think the costs and everything for everything in the United States is criminal almost. You know, I think it's really, really bad for healthcare. When you see the cost over here, it's incredibly low because manpower is low. You know what they pay for a doctor, what they pay for a nurse, what they pay for X-ray tech, stuff like that. It's a lot cheaper, and we get the benefit of that. I feel bad for the people that take care of people there because they're not getting really a lot of pay. There is also some sadness to that too because there is that quiet quitting in the medical communities where they have low pay, and that goes with any third world. I'm not just talking about the Philippines, I'm talking about everywhere. You know, and in the United States they get really high pay, and some of those people get lazy in the United States, because I've seen that too with nurses in the United States. So you do get the silent quitting back there for different reasons. You know, I'm not sure why. There's a lot of that going on lately, and it's kind of sad that it's even gotten into the medical community. And I've talked to a few people, both in the Philippines and in the United States, and they say it's happening everywhere. It's like a worldwide issue. So the care that you're getting is not going to be 100% ever, I don't think, for a while, until people get over their stuff. And there's definitely changes going on in the world. I'm not sure what all this stuff is all about, but I know it's happening. Clyde Lampley says, my GP is also an internal specialist, $12 a visit. That's in Dipolog City. In USA, you got to have a referral from your PCP. Yes. My regular doctor here, my MD right down the street here, is $6. And she's a young doctor. She's really, really good, and I love her to death because I've had her for a long, long time. I've had her for about 4 years now, and she works with all of our expats here, you know, and she not all, well, all of the core members that live around me, I should say. BJ says, hello, Steve. Good evening. Would you trust sending a package to the Philippines with USPS priority? Yes. Does Phil Post deliver it to there, and do you trust them? I've heard stories of missing mail. You know something? I think the days of missing mail here in the Philippines, like anything like Priority International, something like that, it's not going to happen. Letters, yes, because they open them, especially around Christmas. People know money's getting shipped, things like that. Don't mail money. Don't mail cash. Don't send credit cards unless you send it like Priority International or something like that. But I think Priority International is pretty safe. I've always gotten my Priority mail. Never ever has anything happened with most of my mail here. So I think I'm really happy about that, actually. Gary Lambert says, hello from West Palm Beach. Love the show. Watch you regularly. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Michael L. says, medicine is also cheaper in the Philippines compared to the States as well. Yes, in most cases. I'm hoping that new medicine there, the I forget what they call it. It's a diabetes medicine that helps people lose weight. And I'd like to actually go on that for like about a month. I think in a month I'd lose enough weight to where I'd be okay. I just want to lose some weight. I'm jumping on the treadmills now. I just jumped on with Justin the other day, and I did 5 miles last night as a starter. That was my first night. So I mean, I like doing 13 miles a day. That's my goal, you know. And I did do that for a while, and then COVID struck. So I'm hoping, you know, I can do that. Let's see. Anthony says, hello, Steve. Glad to hear about your daughter. I was wondering that new restrictions are being lifted. If you have given any thought of updating the checklist for those of us who need guidance. I'm going to be doing a check. I'm not talking about just a checklist to just, you know, jump on a plane. I'm talking about the checklist to do everything you need to come over here. Me and the guys, Justin and everybody, we've been super, super swamped. And we do want to start on that checklist. And I'm going to talk to Justin actually this week to see if we can get that going, to sit down and actually do that. I'm going to see if I can actually find my old checklist, you know, because I used to have it around here somewhere. And I hope I still have that. I'm going to look for that and see if I can find it. But I'm going to have to go through some of my old videos and stuff and put them all in order. But I know basically, you know, I can remember pretty much what I did and everything. So I'm going to put that together and see if I can put it someplace where you guys can use it. I'm not sure where I can put it that you guys can pick it up, but I'll put it up and have a link to it or whatever. But you just gotta have some patience with me on that one, because we have a lot of stuff going on at the channel right now. Because we're gonna have some new people providing videos now, so that there's gonna be some other videos on here from other people, and I'm hoping it works out because I think it would just add some more to the channel. I'm still going to do my usual daily vlog, where I skip a day here or there or something like that. But these guys here are going to be adding also, so you might see 2 or 3 videos a day pop up, and I'd like people to give them a chance, and I'd kind of like to back off a little bit and start relaxing a little bit more because I have a lot of stuff on my plate every day. But anyway, let's see. Canada is in the house. Brooke is here. Big Kevin Media. Hello all. Nico says, "Hello. You skipped right over mine. Good one, bro. Shows your loyalties. God be with you." I didn't see. I actually didn't see it, Nico. I'm sorry if I missed it. If you repost it again, I'll cover it. Okay. Sorry about that. Simple says, "Hey, Brooke. Francisco Fletes. If I go back, I'll lose my place. So I don't want to lose my place. So just repost it again. I will cover it. Okay, Francisco Fletes' executive checkup, head to toe, including X-rays, EKG, imaging, blood work, is $20K done as outpatient, $30K if it's done inpatient. Okay, so $20K is about $400. Okay, that's the executive checkup. He's talking about like the really good. There's other places that are cheaper than that too. And then if you stay inpatient, it's about $600. So that's not that bad for really, really. He's probably talking everything: X-rays, EKG, imaging. That's a real checkup, Brooke Snyder says, "Hey, Sin, heading over in 8 days. We'll be seeing Brooke soon." Let's see. Sinfuls, I had sent documents with no issue before. Sinful says, "Great to hear Brooke." Lazy Larry Lee is on board. He says, "Steven, if I have picture and video, I don't have the chat, so this will be my last comment I will make." I don't have the chat. I'm not sure why you don't have that. I think everybody can see it usually. Some people have a problem with that sometimes, seeing what's on here, but I see you on here. Oh, that's okay, Larry. We know you're there. Sinful says, "Look forward to seeing you again." Gregory Larmer says, "Hey, Steve, just watched your most recent video. Thank you." Thank you guys for watching it. And thanks, guys, for watching. A lot of people are watching the ads or at least letting them run, and I really appreciate that because that really, really helps the channel. It keeps the channel together. It helps me. It helps me help other people. It helps a lot of things. That money just doesn't go in my pocket. It goes to a lot of people, and helps a lot of people too. So, I mean, we help the orphanage here. We do a lot of stuff here. A lot of people think it just goes in my pocket. Some of it does. I mean, I'm entitled to some too. So, but yeah, I do use it to go out to eat once in a while, but I also use it for other things too. So it does get used amongst everybody. I share the wealth, let's put it that way. Michael L says, semaglutide, other GLP-1 agonists work as well. Let's see. Michael Onstead, planning to join you on the 24th. Thank you, Michael. That'd be great. Michael is he's a salesperson for Pacific Cross. He's also an expat here. And he's going to join us on our Thanksgiving dinner at Texas Roadhouse at the Evia Mall. Okay, and that's in Bacor/Alabang. So any of you guys want to join us, let me know. You can send me an email at steven5975@yahoo.com and you can join us. Michael, will you be bringing your wife or girlfriend? Sinful says, Steve, that group media link I sent you would work for checklist, pics, meetings, and calendars. Okay. I'll have to check that out. I see Jack Bird, test. I can see you, Jack. Clyde Lampy, I had a series of 6 rabies shots in Leroy and was shocked because this one time I was treated like a local, free for the series I paid for the hypodermic needles only. That's cool. Todd Durnford, hi from Toronto in Canada. Paul Osterhout says, hi, Steve. Uncle Paul is in the house. There we go. RPL, 80% diet, 20% exercise is the winning formula. Cut the carbs, sugar is an absolute no-no. Keep up the great videos. Yeah, I'm big on walking, to be honest with you. I understand diet has a big part of it, and I'm going to be trying to cut back a little bit on that too if I can, sooner or later. I got to cut back a little bit. I'm probably going to switch to Coke Zero pretty soon here. Gary Lambert, Calbayog is our closest large town with medical facilities. I found out that it has pretty good services. I forget the main medical facility there. Kurt C says, good evening there, Steve. Been following you for over a year. Coming back to Manila end of November to see my wife. Do you know if I can get an SRV if I am not retiring there for a few years? Well, Kurt, you can. Okay, but you need to stay here for at least long enough to get the SRV retirement visa. But yes, you can. And if you need to do that, I implore you to call me before you go with any agency or anything like that, because I can get it done for free. Okay, I can get you an agent for free that gets paid by the PRA. Do not use up any of these consulting firms or anything like that. I can get you somebody that will do it for free. They'll help you. They're paid by the PRA. This firm is paid by the PRA from your application fee. And there are other places that do this too, but there's a lot of agencies out there that put a lot of ads out there and a lot of stuff out there on other vloggers pages, and you got to be careful of these places, because some of these places are paying the vlogger money or whatever. In some cases they're probably not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I heard from somebody that some of these consultancy firms are paying some of these vloggers some of that money back, and that's how they make their money. These vloggers. This lady, she doesn't get I don't get a nickel from her, and she doesn't get a nickel from me. I picked her for the page because of the fact that for the channel, because of the fact that she does not charge. So if you want that, Steven5975@yahoo.com, contact me and I'll give you all the information on her, and you can contact her. Leonard Lund says, hi from Houston. How you doing, Leonard? Let's see. And he says, hi, Larry. James Wright, hi from upstate New York. There we go. Brooke Snyder says, how's Justin liking his scooter? He actually loves his scooter. His scooter looks really nice. I like the little name, the name tag, the brand name or whatever it is, or the name of the model. It really looks kind of sharp. And Sinful's put up the my email address, so we have that up, Steven5975@yahoo.com. Joe Cunningham, happy to hear no more quarantine for unvaxxed, just antigen within 24 hours. That pretty much opens it up. I mean, that antigen test is nothing, let's face it. And I believe you can even take it at the airport when you get here. But I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. So just still check up on that. But I would do it before you leave. Let's see. Charles Morales says, do you know a Pinoy who does power washing, walkways, driveways, etc.? You want to know something? Charles, if you're around me, contact me. I have a power washer. Okay. You can contact me on my email address. But I don't know anybody that would, go out to your house and do it. No, I do not, unfortunately. But Charles, I have a power washer. They're pretty cheap. They're not that expensive, and you will use it a lot once you get one. It's worth it to probably buy one. You can buy them at Ace. Okay. Storm from Maryland, retiring in 2024. To Davao. Davao's a nice area. Sammy Chavez says 31 thumbs up. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button, he says. Thank you, man. BJ, no problem with watching the ads. It's the least I can do, considering you don't ask for any money or anything. No, we don't. We're still considering the super thanks, but I think I'm going to stay away from that. I just don't think it's going to work. I feel like we're doing good enough off the ads because people are listening, and that helps. So I can keep all the other super chats and all that garbage off here. And I was considering it, but then everything went up. So I was really last time I spoke about it, and that helped a lot. And it keeps the channel kind of clean and fresh, and you don't have all that other garbage on there. I think that just adds garbage to the channel, That's just my thoughts on it. And for us older guys, most of the guys don't want to see that on there, and I don't blame them. Justin is in the house. Justin in Arkansas. My new Suzuki 125 is great. Robert Simmons says, hello, brother. Sammy Chavez says, good evening, Kuya, good morning. Robert Simmons, hello, Langa. Sammy Chavez, hello, Langa. Hi, Langa. Let's see. Robert Simmons says, positivity and love to all today. Absolutely. Lazy Larry Lee says, Steven, I restarted the live stream a few times. Now I have both video and chat. That's great. Yeah, some people, they don't have that. I don't know why. They just listen to the show. Some people use this like a podcast. And it's kind of nice because you can just kind of listen to the show because I'll read everything off. Leonard Lund says, good morning, Sammy. Sammy Chavez, good morning, Kuya. Let's see. Hello, brother Larry from Robert Simmons. Lazy Larry Lee says, hi, Larry Lund. Sammy Chavez. We've got a lot of hellos here. Sammy Chavez, a lot of these guys know each other. Good morning, Kuya Larry. Leonard Lund says, hi, Robert. Paul Oster, lazy. I had faith you could do it. Let's see. Robert Simmons, hi, Leonard. Hey, Robert. JD says, I can attest in 2021 I used Steve's contact to get my SRRV, and I've been here for a year now and all good. Mary Rose is phenomenal. We've talked about this tons of time on here, so I don't want to spend too much time on Mary, but, and also her helper is phenomenal. You know, I mean, both of them are really great. So Gregory Lamar says, I'm in Cebu and Lapa. Where's a good beach to go and read? Where's a good beach to go and read? I'm not sure because I'm not down in that area. You know what I mean? I really don't know that area that much. Robert Simmons says, hi, Charles. Robert Simmons says, hi, Robert from Virginia. Lazy Larry, hello. Sammy Chavez, a lot of hellos. Lazy Larry, hi, Robert. Sinful says, yes, yes, you can get antigen and also do e-travel card upon arrival now. Yeah, I didn't know about that. That's really good that they'll help you with the e-travel when you get here, because a lot of the older guys had a hard time with the old One Health Pass. A lot of people did. They did help people when they got here sometimes, because a lot of people left stuff out, and when they got here it wasn't fully filled out. They helped them with that because they were constantly kind of changing things on there, which didn't help the One Health Pass much. Let's hope they leave the e-travel alone for the most part from here on in, and let's hope we don't have any more COVID stuff going on. Robert Simmons says, Brother Larry. Sammy Chavez says, Kuya Steve, why there's no $sign? Your monetized channel already, right? Yes, absolutely. We do not, Sammy, I don't know if you know this, we do not do super chats on here. We only have ads, and I just tell people, we were just talking about this, we were just telling people, just watch the ads. If you really want to help out the channel, just let the ads run. You don't have to watch them, just let them run. And that's all that, you know, it keeps all this garbage off the channel with the super chats and, you know, people moving to the top or whatever. I don't know how that works. I just don't like it. I really honestly would rather not take money from people. I feel wrong about that. I'd rather just have the ads on here. I don't owe anybody anything, you know, or anything like that. And I think when you take money from people, you kind of owe people. And I rather just give it from my heart. Anybody that knows this channel, we really do give a lot to people, to the expats and stuff like that already. You know, I mean, anybody that's in our group knows how much this channel gives and helps people. We really try to help everybody. Brooke Snyder, I am thinking to buy a scooter versus renting one. Any thoughts? I think buying one is okay. I don't recommend scooters. Justin has one. I think they're dangerous. I think they're just, I'd rather take public transportation than take a scooter. That's just my thoughts on that. As far as buying or renting, both of them have their pluses and minuses, but if you're renting one, is it getting taken care of and properly maintained? That's my question. I think it's better buying one and maintaining it yourself so you know what's going on. B. William, waterfront in Lapa. JD, Steve, reference video on skin infections. I got bacterial staph infection causing multiple abscesses, and still after 3 runs of doxycycline, I still have problems each time I get off the prescription. JD, if you have pre-diabetes, okay, or if you have diabetes, and I'm not sure if you do or you don't, okay, because there are some skin issues related to pre-existing diabetes, as metabolic syndrome, things like that. You get all kinds of skin issues. And I do touch on that pre-diabetes thing once in a while. I mean, right now I'm kind of in that mode, and I bounce back and forth in and out of it. That's why I'm trying to exercise more and stuff, because when I saw that, I was like, you know, I don't want to become diabetic. Just be careful of that if you do have that problem, okay? It's tough. I also take a lot of vitamin C, JD. One thing I noticed, I take a ton of vitamin D throughout the day, and that helps me a lot. It helps keep it at least under control and in check. Do that, okay, and that will help you. Sammy Chavez says, okay, Kuya, you're awesome. Sinful says, 82 watches, only 41 thumbs up. Let's see. Tremonte says, I always listen to your videos as a podcast while I'm going through my day. Thanks, Tremonte. I appreciate that, man. Robert Simmons, we are very close YouTube friends. Thanks, Robert. Sammy Chavez says, because they are my friends to Kuya Steven, and they support my channel as well. And Robert Simmons says, Sammy. Charlie, good evening, Kuya. Benita Nuet says, how you guys doing in Cavite after the typhoon? You know, I did a video the other day and I didn't post it, and it might be too late to post it. Maybe it's not. I did a video about the park the other day. Um, I'm not sure if I'm gonna post it or not. I didn't like the way it came out, but it showed the park that I usually walk in, and the park sidewalk is filled with mud, bushes, trees. It's horrible down there. You know, it's slippery. You can barely walk down there. You can't see the cement barely at all. It's just all mud. So I know I won't be going down there for a while till they clean that. But they were putting in hoses around. They were digging around the sidewalk like they're going to put in hoses, and I'm not sure what that's about. But we'll see if they clean it afterwards. Hopefully they will. James Wright, I am a vet. Does Social Security count as a pension for SRV? Yes. If you can get a pension letter from them, you can count that as your pension. Okay, so that will work. Paul Osterhouse says, my wife said no worries as we have the small house here, all good. Joe Cunningham says, I have my wireless earphones on and listen to you while working. That's actually a good idea. I had a guy that worked in a machine shop for a while, and he listened to all 1,100 videos of mine, and then he started all over again, he said. But he was sitting, he used to work in a machine shop on a machine, and it was quite repetitive. He would do like 1,000 parts, and then he would start on another order and start up again. He said he had me in his ear almost the whole time, and man, I couldn't imagine listening to that for that much time. But I guess if you like the show, and I was actually thankful for that. But you know, and he's still gonna listen to it again. Sinful says, James, right? Yes, it does just need at least 1K a month. Let's see. Sammy Chavez, Babe Robert, Kuya Larry, and Leonard Kuya Tim. Not around. He have bad back pain. Let's see. Michael Ellis says, super chats in the Philippines attracts trolls. Yes, it does. I commented on that before. I don't think super chats is a good way to go for anybody that's in the Philippines. If you were in any other country, you could do the super chats and get away with it. Like you could be in Colombia, or you could be in Thailand and all those places and get away with it. But in the Philippines, you're best just staying away from it. You know, I think I've actually got more subscribers that way by leaving it off there, and I got the right type of subscribers, which is great. You know, Robert Simmons says, brother Stephen, thanks for sharing this information, brother. Really appreciate you. Let's see. Sammy Chavez says, Michael, indeed. Robert Simmons, prayers, brother Tim. Charlie, number one reason I have been watching from the beginning is no super chats. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. I need to know that. I need to hear that sometimes. You know, and when we do get trolls on here, I just block them. You know, I mean, I don't even put up with it. You know, and Sinfuls does on the moderation too. So we just block them, and they can't come on here. Sinful says, I went today and bought me the silver soap. So you got some Lifebuoy soap. There's more than one silver soap out there, but the Lifebuoy is really, really good. That helps me a lot. You can also get peppermint soap, and you can mix it with the silver soap a little bit. If a lot of people around here, there's ants, and the ants will stay away from you. If you're sitting outside, or you work outside, or you do a lot of outdoor work, and there's ants, you can go on and you can get peppermint soap. It comes in a big bottle. It's Dr. Bronner's or something like that. Peppermint soap. It's actually good for keeping away mosquitoes too. So just FYI. Robert Simmons, hi Charlie, Francis, and it keeps you cooler. And that's another good thing about that Dr. I think it's Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap. I already have it in my cart on Lazada, so I'm probably gonna order it this week. Francisco Fleta says, talk to BDO today. They have confirmed the SRV holders qualify for condo mortgage. That's interesting. I like that. The mortgage rate is 6.25% fixed, which is now lower than the mortgage rates in the U.S. I like that, Francisco. So Francisco, we're meeting on Veterans Day. Don't forget. Give me a call like the night before or 2 days before. Big Time 911. Any good WW2 museum sites near you? Yes. At the cemetery near BGC, near the mall up there, the Venice Mall. It's actually almost right next to it. There's a great World War II museum in the cemetery. It's in the middle of the cemetery, and it's a great museum to take in because there's a lot of stuff that goes, a lot of stuff in there to check out. It's a lot of movies, a lot of pictures, things like that. They show a couple. There's a couple of pieces in there that are worth going in to check out. But the best of all is to go out and check out that cemetery. What's funny is I think, if I remember the count, I think 66% or 66 or 33% of the people are not in the cemetery anymore. They get removed, and it's usually the ones with the names, because the unknowns, obviously nobody can claim them because they're unknown. But all the ones that were known, a lot of them, the VA or the military sent those bodies back home to their hometown and to their family, and they reburied them in the States, which I thought was kind of nice, and you might want to check that out. But most of those people are gone, so they left the cemetery stones as a memorial to them, even though they're not there, because otherwise the cemetery would have looked horrible not having a whole bunch of stones missing. So, but I thought that was kind of an interesting story. It's just a little fact that a lot of people don't know, and that's the same as like Normandy and stuff like that. A lot of those people are no longer there anymore. Joe Cunningham says, "Is it easy to get a postal ID?" It's very easy. It's very easy, Joe. Here in Tracy Martires, we have to go to the next town over, but yes, it's easy even there. Craig Jordan at V. William, it's Lapu Lapu. Yeah, I was wondering what Lapa Lapa is. I was like, is that a new someplace I haven't heard of? BJ, Steve, have you ever considered a gimbal for use when walking and filming? I haven't. You know why? Because most of the people were wondering how I kept it so still. I've actually got that comment. I get it quite often. They say, "Hey, Steve, man, I don't know how you keep it still, but you do a really good job." So I figured I didn't need a gimbal. Maybe I do now. I'm not sure. Now you're making me kind of paranoid about that. But we haven't heard any complaints about people. I mean, I checked them. I didn't think they were that bad. Robert Simmons says, "Hello, Craig." Sammy Chavez says, "Craig, cheers, you're right." Robert Simmons, "Hello, BJ." Charles Morales at Sinful's Me Too. Steve, thanks for the very important topics covered in your videos. You are greatly helping me. Thanks, Charles. I appreciate that. I hope to have, when you guys want to see other stuff come up or you want to hear me comment about something, I'm more than willing to do that. If it's a subject that I think that'll do fairly well, I'll cover it. So I have no problem with that. Craig Jordan says that Robert Simmons, hello, and thank you for the welcome. Michael L says 5,000 IU of vitamin D3 per day. Yes, I take that too. Dr. Mike Hansen has a good video on this. I actually have a bunch of stuff that I think I'm gonna probably do this week. I did a video and then I got messed up, so I got to redo it. And once somebody wrecks a video, like if they walk in on me while I'm in the middle of a video or something like that, it kind of screws me up from doing that video until I do it again a couple days later or something like that. Because otherwise, I can't wrap my head around doing it again after I already spit out the video and I shot off all my thoughts, and then I can't get a piece of back together for a couple of days. So I'm gonna probably redo it again. Some of the stuff is stuff that I've covered already, but it's kind of interesting. I get some new stuff in there a little bit, but I want to cover a lot of stuff in there. Sai says hello from ST. PJ says hello, Robert. Robert Simmons, hello, Michael. K Fox says hi, Stephen. Do you know a good way to send Philippines to Europe to receive euro? I would say Western Union. I would think that you could, or Remitly or any of those places. I'm sure that if they're shipping money to Europe, it's going to switch it over to euros. I'm not really up on sending money from the Philippines to Europe, but I'm pretty sure those same companies would do that. I'm almost positive that Western Union would. I actually, Western Union kicked me off for a little while, but after I filled out a thing for them, a questionnaire, they actually let me back on. And not only that, they haven't harassed me in a while, which is really good. And, they give me cheaper prices and it's almost instantaneous. It says it takes 2 to 4 days for the one that I choose because I choose the cheaper one. And when I choose the cheaper one, I notice they do it immediately. It's usually there within 2 hours or less. Sometimes it's there in 15 minutes. Lazy Life says, good job, Sinfuls. Randy Smith Narvacan says, good morning, buddy. From Tennessee, we will be there in 4 weeks. Sinful says, thanks, Larry. Charles Morel says, I take 5,000 IU of D3 K2. Sai says, hello from Syracuse, New York. Going to be 75 today and sunny. That's actually pretty good for this time of season. Good day to take a walk in the woods. I love New York. Um, like around, what was it? Ossining, New York, that area. That's where my godfather lives, and he's 99 years old. We used to go visit him all the time before I left to come here, and he's 99. He's still alive, and he's doing pretty well actually. Francisco Fletes says SNR sells the big Costco vitamin D with yes, I have actually said with calcium bottle. And let's see. JD says thanks Francisco. Robert Simmons, brother Larry, have you gotten to Mother's yet, brother? Let's see. Robert Simmons says hi, Cy. Leonard Lund, Steve, to help your pre-diabetes, try very low carb, zero sugar diet. I'm kind of stuck on having a little bit of sugar in my life. I like Coca-Cola. I'm gonna try to switch over to the Coca-Cola Zero, Coke Zero, whatever it's called. I know people recommend not going on any Coke at all, but it's something that I enjoy, you know. So Michael L says I listened to you while working on my Excel reports for an advertisement arm of a major cable TV company. There we go. Justin in Arkansas says if you have not owned a motorcycle recently, then rent one. He says rent PAXs to get used to riding here. Buy only if you are a good rider already. Yes, Pax does rent his motorcycle, by the way. It's actually brand spanking new almost. It's not brand new, but it's pretty close to it. It looks really nice. He takes care of it really well, and he does rent it out. And he does take care of that bike quite well. You know, Lazy Larry Lee says, Steven, I have watched all of your videos, but only once. Thank you, Larry. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. I think anybody that's watched all my videos for 1,100 videos, that's a lot of videos. That's a big thank you for that, Larry. Now, Archie Paligo says, some vitamin pills to boost profits, use the cheapest quality vitamins. Yes. Yeah, some vitamins you gotta be careful where you get them and where you get them from. Some of the companies, I wouldn't buy from Chinese companies, I'll tell you that right now. Robert Simmons, hello, Justin. Let's see, Sammy Chavez says, later, y'all. I had a long day. Let's see. We'll see you later, Sammy. Thanks for joining us for a while. Terry Morgenstern says, a few years ago, you made a video about ARK investments. You said you were in it for the long term. You still in? Terry, I'm not in anymore, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because we got kicked out from my brokerage firm, from Ameritrade. So they told us I had till the 6th, and then I wasn't gonna be able to trade anymore. I could have left my investments there, but instead I took them all out because there was a question of whether they could kick me out, and they could kick me out at the bottom of the market. So I figured it was time to just take them out, and I'm gonna try to. And I do want to get back into ARK again. I'll be honest with you. I like ARK and I like Tesla, and I'm trying to figure out how to get back in where I don't have to put in $25 or $50 or $100,000 to just keep an account open in the U.S. And some of them ask you to have that to have an international account. And I'm gonna try to figure that out which company I can go with without being shut down again. Because Fidelity is doing the same thing I'm hearing, and some of the other companies have also done that. So I don't know if something come out from the United States government to warn these people or something like that, but they kicked us all off. So we'll see what happens. Lazy Larry Lee, bye Sammy. Robert Simmons says, good night, Langa. Christopher Meany is on board. What's up, Steven? So happy we are. Let's see, we are. What's happened in your life with your family? It's wonderful. It will only get better. Well, I hope so, man. Yeah, I mean, my daughter started chatting me the other day. I don't know if you guys watched today's video, and it was a good thing, you know. It had been long enough, and I'm hoping that it gets better. We're just chatting right now. I don't really want to call her yet because I think it's too early. I just want to kind of have small talk with her and see how it goes, because we've done this a couple times before, and I don't want to mess it up again. And I think she feels kind of the same way, so we're going to kind of take it slow. We'll see what happens. Craig Jordan, a lot of innocent activities attract trolls in the Philippines. Yes. You could almost anything you do in the Philippines, you know, and I kicked all those people off, most of the ones that were bothering us here. And there wasn't a lot, but there was enough that I just took them down, and now they don't bother me. People don't even really cover this channel. Very few people we've only had Ricky Drama, and that guy was an idiot anyway. So I mean, let's see. Dusty Dave says, "Does the Philippines recognize daylight savings? No. Do they practice the craziness of changing their clocks twice a year like most of the states and other countries? No, because we're too close to the equator, and the time pretty much stays the same when the sun goes down. Pretty much, there's not much of a change with the sun here, you know. But to get back to the trolls, we're almost like a troll-free channel pretty much. We do get a few every now and then. Once somebody will bother you, like the Ricky Drama thing or whatever. But he stopped. I think because he got in trouble with other people and people, other countries, governments were actually kind of tired of him. And he did get arrested for what he had done to one of the other vloggers. He actually hit a vlogger in the head. He went out to his house and hit him in the head. It's kind of a sad situation that people get like that. And I mean, it's just it's tragic and it's kind of scary sometimes too. Sinful says, yes, Lifebuoy. Lifebuoy is actually a great soap. I love that soap. And you can get it in the liquid too, and you can get the liquid hand soap. That is the best hand soap you can buy, guys. If you're buying soap, and especially in the Philippines, you guys should be washing your hands, washing your arms, washing your legs, and you should have some sort of antibacterial wipes for your legs all the time. Because you get sprayed by a motorcycle spraying water on your leg, you can get an infection from that water from the street very, very fast. Okay? Let's see. Paul Osterhout says, Sinful's the man, the legend, and smiley face he's got. Sinful's Dusty Dave, no DST. Sai says, good day, Mr. Simmons. Sinful says, LOL, Paul, thanks. Robert Simmons, brother Steve, I have to go now, brother, but thanks so much. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for joining us tonight. BJ says, is testosterone replacement therapy obtained without a prescription there? I've noticed some vloggers getting bigger there. I know a couple people here that do testosterone. I'm not sure how they obtain it. I have no idea. I would imagine you can probably get a prescription here pretty easy for it. If you can't, you know, I would say you can probably get it here pretty easy. Just go to a doctor. They'll probably give it to you if you need it. I'm not sure if you can get it without a prescription though. Okay, but you can get a lot of things here without prescription. Trust me on that. Lazy Larry Lee says, bye, brother Robert. Robert Simmons says, good day or good evening to all in chat. Bye. Thanks, man. Leonard Lund, later, Robert. Michael L says, no super chats, no subscriptions, and excellent content. I love the content on actual how to live tips in the Philippines instead of the constant focus on girls. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. You know, and we do talk about girls on occasion, but we don't really get into it. We don't have the constant, like you said, the constant focus on girls. I do still think it's a good subject to pick up once in a while, but I like to cover it a little bit different than the other guys do. You know, I just don't think that they're covering it in a proper way. Let's put it that way. You know, I mean, you know, we're all grown adults. You know, and I think they do it from almost like a 17-year-old's eyes or something like that. It's almost like they're reliving their childhood, and we're adults now. You know, we should act like adults still. That's the way I look at it. I mean, I kind of look at that. This is my second childhood too, but you know, you also have to have, you know, some responsibility and maturity too with that. You know, Francisco Fleta says, yes, I'm picking you up, Steve. I'll text you on the 10th. Okay, sounds good, man. BJ, bye, Robert. Sinful says Francisco Fleta is the 11th, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's the 11th, but he's going to tell me on the 10th what time he's going to pick me up or whatever. Sinfuls. Let's see. Kevin G says, are you former military? Yes, I'm ex-Navy, submariner, cook. You know, Lazy Larry Lee, Michael L, yes. That is one of the things that makes this channel so great. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Charlie says, Steve, yours is the only channel where I get big family feel when you do your live streams. That's good. I like that, you know. I think you guys are going to really enjoy, I just want to speak to this while we're talking about the channel right now. I think you guys are going to enjoy some of the new stuff that you're going to see on the channel, because we have this guy Rich. He lives near me, and it's not Rich Sinfuls, but it's a different Rich, and he wants to provide. He wants to be a contributor to the channel, and I told him he could, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll just work on it from there. And I think Rich would actually be a good person to add some stuff to the channel. And we're also going to put Justin on here. And I think Justin would be a great contributor to the channel too. Justin, I think, would be like a great once a week or twice a week contributor. We'll see how it goes. And if people want to see him more, we'll put him on more. He's kind of has like a kind of that southern thing going on where he's kind of like down home family, and I kind of like that. I think he would add some great stuff to the channel to talk about different subjects each week, or something that's happened to him, or share life in the Philippines. He has been here for a while now. I think it's almost been like 9 months or something like that or whatever, and I think he would kind of have a different perspective of things, and Rich will too, because Rich is fresh here, and I want to have them on here because I think it would help, and we can see, and you can kind of grow with them. So you guys that are sitting at home will see what people go through and stuff, and also I think Rich will add some stuff, different stuff, and show the streets, talk to people, interviews, whatever he wants to do. I'm going to leave it up to him, but it'll be interesting to see that, So we'll see how that goes. Sinful says, haha. Okay, good, Francisco Flates. Paul Osterhout. Catch you happy campers later. Peace to you all. Thanks, Paul. Sinful says, your moving videos are far steadier than most. Yeah, and that's just with my arm, which is kind of interesting, Big time 9/11. Can you get mail at your house from the USA? Yes, I get my mail delivered here from the US quite often, and they bring it right to the house. They did that just a couple weeks ago. I got a priority mail they brought right to the house. Sinful says, big time 9/11. Yes, you can get mail service. Kevin G, hello. Good content on your videos. Are you former military? Yes. Bye, Paul Osterhout. Lazy Larry says, BJ, can you do a BJ says, you definitely do a great job for handheld video. There have been a couple of times a gimbal would have made things more steady. Yeah, sometimes it depends. If I'm doing like a really heavy walk or something like that, then yeah, I agree. Francisco Fleta says, HSBC Premier account, multi-currency account, or Wise multi-currency account. Okay, I heard that before. Well, I'm going to look into that a little bit. K Fox, Western Union send money all over, very high charges. Any other ideas? Try Remitly. I think you got to kind of go through. I used Remitly for a while, but they booted me off for some reason. I'm not sure. I think I sent too much money too fast, which I'm used to doing. So, because I live over here, I need the money. But Remitly was okay for a while. I think you need to start out slow though. They might ask you for some documentation. Just send it to them, and it'll probably work. And one of the companies, I think they started asking, it was sending money to myself too, and they were asking me all sorts of questions, and I tried explaining to them, and they weren't too friendly about it. That was Remitly, but if you send them the stuff, they're actually a decent company. I think it was just the person that I was talking to. K Fox says, Western Union send peso all over, very high charges. It's not high if you do it certain ways. There's other ways. If you put the app on your phone and you do it through the app, it's cheaper than sending it from somebody in the United States or something like that, or calling them and sending money. Sinfuls, the weather here the last few nights has been nice and cool. Yes, it's actually been really nice here. Michael L says, prefer Wise over HSBC. HSBC is retreating from too many markets. Let's see. I see that there's a Sex Chat 69 site on here. Thank God Sinful's deleted it. This is one of the people that has been jumping on my site every day, and they keep changing their name, and they keep doing stuff all the time, and I'm not sure how to keep them off anymore, because whoever it is keeps on changing, and that's kind of like that's one of the things you have to deal with on YouTube, unfortunately. Charles Morales says, remain safe, everyone. Thanks, Steve. No problem, man. And here's another one. He blocked it again, so it shows that they are trying to get through really hard. Ross Cole Farms and Malatgao. Evening, Steve. Usually RC and Jacksonville, but not today. Hope you and your family are doing well. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that, man. Benita, message retracted. Michael L says, Coke Zero and Diet Dr. Pepper taste good. I'm going to try I've tried the Coke Zero before, but I wasn't really totally fond of it. But, if I throw a little lemon and ice there, I think I'll be good with it. So I'm going to try that. John Fetchko says, hi from Space Coast. There we go. It must be Cocoa Beach. My sub actually pulled in there a few times. I think that's what you're talking about. Brooke Snyder, Wise card works for me. Actually, Brooke is dead on to this. This might be one for the person that was asking about how to transfer money. Wise. That was the one I was trying to think of. I couldn't think of the name. Brooke swears by this, okay? And he's one of our members, and he says it works really, really good. And he says, did grab an HSB card and found out they're selling their Canadian division. Okay. So you can check into the Wise card, and a lot of other people have sworn to me about that too. So I've actually heard it a few times. I've forgotten all about that. Lazy Larry Lee leaving Monday after work. We'll see my mom Tuesday. Sounds good, man. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says, if I get a motorcycle, I'd probably get killed on the road. Yes, I think we all would. Let's see. Michael L. Order Nature Made brand from Amazon. Nature Made quality. Nature Made voluntarily submits to quality inspection by U.S. Pharmacopoeia. Okay, Sinful says I have rode motorcycles my whole life and even raced. I would not ride here. I agree 100% on that, Rich. Lazy Larry Lee says, Steve, my mom is 96. She will be 97 in January. That's pretty incredible, man. I was just talking earlier about my godfather being 99. He's 99, and he was in Guam. He fought. He was a person that fixed airplanes during World War II in Guam. He was the one that got him up and running again after they all got shot up and stuff like that. And it's amazing that the man is still alive today at 99. I'll probably actually be calling him tonight after I get off here. Really, really great guy. He's like the biggest Catholic person I've ever met. He's really into Roman Catholicism, the old Roman Catholic. He doesn't like the popes today and stuff like that. He believes in the old Catholic Church. He's a real diehard Catholic. And I mean, I'm not a Catholic. I was a long time ago when I switched over to something else. But I mean, if you saw his house, he studied to be a brother to become a priest. And then he kind of had second thoughts, and they told him to go take a couple months off. And he actually met a girl that was getting ready to become a nun, and they told her the same thing: go out and just date and see if that's what you want or if you want this life. And they ran into each other just by a freak accident, and they ended up getting married. And she died about 10, 12 years ago or something like that, unfortunately. And he's alone now, but he's surrounded by good people and stuff like that. And I hope he lives another 10 years. And to be honest with you, he's so healthy, I think he might live another 10 years, and I hope he does. And I hope your mom does too. Brooke Snyder says, I'm going to try Western Union once there. Use it as a backup. They give first transfer free. Yes, they do. Also, if you use them enough, they give you a lot of like these quick transfers rather than waiting 1 to 4 days like it says. And that's kind of nice of them, I think. I actually like Western Union because they do that. And they do, if you are a regular user, they do treat you a little bit better than normal. So be aware of that, guys. Francisco Fletes says, I got HSBC US and Philippines account. Pretty easy to move money from US account to Philippines, US dollar account to Philippines PHP account. 0 fees, but who knows how long it will last. Gavin's Journey to True Freedom. I found your peppermint soap on Amazon. Shipped to Philippines if spend $49. You know something? It's only like about, I think it's less than $20 here for the 25-ounce bottle on Lazada. I forget what the price is, but I know it's way cheaper than 25. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it is a little bit expensive, but it's a really, really, really good soap. And it's a very strong soap too, and it does make you feel cooler after you take a shower here in the Philippines. Okay, so Michael L says, I would register a swab account from an address in the CONUS. You mentioned you had a sister to handle it. Yes. It doesn't matter where, I had my address back there, but told them I was going to be living over here temporarily, and then they still closed it. So I think it goes by when you go to check your account, and you go to look on there or anything like that, it shows the IP address. Even if you use a VPN, and I used a VPN a few times, I slipped a couple times. Maybe that's what tipped them off, but I don't know. I don't know what stopped it, but it wasn't just me that got that mail. It was a whole bunch of people. because it was, from what I understand, it was hundreds of people that got that letter, because other people wrote me emails after and told me. John Fetchko says, got a VPN, all my stored passwords go wiped. Coincidence? That's kind of weird. That's scary. Sinful says, John Fetchko, I would never use a password manager. No, absolutely not. Francisco Fletcher says, Hawaii and Guam do not observe daylight savings time either. No, they don't. Big Time 911 says, are there any gun ranges for shooting there? Yes, right in Tracy Martinez, there's a gun shop that advertises you can go shooting there. I'm not sure if it's in the store or if it's a gun range. I would imagine it's a gun range. Sinful says, Big Time 11, yes, there is gun ranges. Michael L says, depends on the VPN also. Use a paid VPN on a separate company for your password manager. I use a private internet access for VPN and LastPass for my password manager. Gregory Lamer says, thanks for correction, Lapu Lapu. Yes, when you said Lapa Lapa, I was like, okay, what the heck is Lapa? I was trying to think, is that a place I haven't heard of? So I was kind of wondering what the heck was going on there. Just seeing if you're paying attention, LOL. Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Size, someone hit the thumbs up. Let's see, what do we got? 78 people, 68 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. We're doing pretty good tonight. This is a good night. Leonard Lund, US is dropping time change next year, too. I hope they do. Archie Pelago says, do you have a playlist of all your videos I can play overnight? Yes, if there is a playlist there of all my videos, but I don't break them into subject matter or something like that. I just don't have the time to do it, unfortunately. I wish I had started that when I first started, because to go back and do 1,100 videos now would take me weeks probably to do that, unfortunately. Let's see, Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Here is a question I wonder, what size thing of rice do you buy? When you buy that rice, does anyone else get a portion of it? I know a few people that get 50 pounds and share it. You know, I think we buy like 50 pounds and I think we share it with our neighbors. We pretty much, but I don't really eat much rice. In fact, I don't eat any. Benita Newitt says, so true, there are even senior foreigners who get away with using senior citizen card to purchase meds, to get discounts from LGUs issue them. I don't know why, but it's only for Filipino citizens. Benita, we just joined an organization, and it's called Scanners, SCANNERS. And to be honest with you, in the United States, if you go to the United States and you're a senior citizen, doesn't matter whether you're a Filipino or an American, you would still get it. I just spoke with somebody inside the group to talk to some government officials to see if they could do something for people that are at least residents here, because we do live here. We're on residency visas with the SRV retirement visa. So I do think we can do something about that. This group right here is trying to do something, and I do have somewhat of a voice over here now with this group, and I'm talking to people in the group now to try to help us and to try to be a voice for us, and we can try to help them too when they do things like missions or something, donate money. But they have a lot of connections, and we're looking into this here, and we're actually looking into a couple of other things too, about the national ID, because the national ID is supposed to be letting retirees that are on the SRV visa, retirement visa, we're supposed to be able to get the national ID, but when we go to ask for it, they will not give it to us. So I have one of our people, Glenda, working on both these issues, because she has the ear of people high up, and she's working on both these things. So I'm hoping and praying that that happens and we can do something about that. I think it would be nice if we could get the senior citizen discount code, but I understand, I understand that some people take advantage of that right now, and we're not supposed to use it. We shouldn't be using it until we get permission and they pass a law letting residents or all people that are over 60 get that discount. But we'll see what happens, Either way, I'm okay with it, because I don't mind if I don't get the discount or I do. I mean, we do pretty good over here already, and I'm grateful for being allowed to stay in this country. So, as a young boy Pete says, finally a win for the purebloods. Brooke Snyder says, Steve-O, buy Bitcoin before it jumps, long-term hold. Sinful says, I hide them from the channel so they will be making a new ID. Such a loser. There's a lot of people here. Let's see, Haven Personal Care, message retracted. I'm not sure what that's about. Dari says, hey Steve, always good Saturday when you come on. Thanks, man. We didn't come on last week because of the storm, and it was so noisy in here. I just didn't want to do it because all you would hear is the rain hitting the roof when we had the storm last week. And sometimes it gets kind of annoying because it's just all you hear is the rain hitting that metal roof, and it's just kind of hard to focus, Jack Bird says it's 7:30 here in California and I have to leave. Great chat, Steve. I will return. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Sinful says, thanks, Jack. Gregory Lamar, SendWave is good for transferring money. Okay, SendWave, I never heard of that company, but that's good to know. Robert Nagel, Steve, do you know about sending large amounts of money, reporting requirements, best prices, etc.? I wouldn't ever send any money over $10,000 at a time because the United States watches stuff like that, and anything over 10,000 they're going to keep their eyes on. That's my thoughts on that. Are there reporting requirements? Yes, it's FATCA. You have to learn a lot about FATCA rules and stuff like that. So I try to keep everything below 10,000, including my account over here, just because I don't like to have anything flagged, or I don't want them to lock that account. I try to keep most of my money back in the U.S., and I'm very careful about stuff like that because if anything happens, at least I can ship it over here through Western Union or something like that. I feel safer having my money back home than here. Okay, and I'm just being honest with you because anything over a certain amount here doesn't get covered, and you're covered more in the U.S. So don't go over 10,000 in your account or anything like that. Just don't do it because if the bank goes under or something like that, you're not covered. So be careful and be aware that they're not going to cover you like back in the U.S. where if you put 100,000 over here or something like that, you start running into some kind of funky rules and regulations and all that stuff. And it could flag your account or something like that. They could lock it. People have had their accounts locked over here for one reason or another. So be careful. That's why I say keep everything under 10,000 over here. Leonard Lund says, I have heard that the U.S. is trying to stop us taking money out of the U.S. Leonard, that would never happen. I mean, they can't because people do live outside the U.S. and they have to kind of honor that people are going to live in other countries. It means people from Portugal that go to the U.S. and they move back, and from other places too. And that's something the U.S. has to kind of let us do. They can make it tougher, but something in the end, they're not going to be able to stop. And they are making it tougher on us, it seems. Sinful says, Robert Nagel, I have wired large sums with no issue from bank to bank for only $25. If the source is known, no issues. See, you can do it, and Sinful has done it, so has other people. I just don't recommend it. I think you're better off, if you're wealthier and you fit into that category of you have a lot of wealth and you want to buy a bigger home or you want to send a lot of money over here because you want to have that over here and your wife might be a Filipino or something like that, sure, do it. You can do it, but I still don't recommend it. I think you're better off keeping your money in the U.S. and only send it over when you need it for something, like maybe Sinful send it over to buy a car or something like that. That's different. I understand that. But be careful and make sure you talk to somebody about that. You might have to talk to a U.S. attorney for some of that stuff. I'll have to talk to Sinfuls about that, about if there's any reporting on it. Maybe he can comment on that tonight if there's any reporting on it or anything like that. I'm not quite sure. Francisco Fletes says the only thing that's annoying about wire transfers is how long they take. Yes, they take about 2 days. Robert Nagel says I want to use their conversion rate, which is much lower than the actual rate. Yes. I also want to comment about this. A lot of guys, they're putting money into their SRV retirement accounts, $20,000. The PRA said that you don't have to report that. Okay, so I'm going off what they said. Okay, you don't have to report that to FATCA or anything like that. So that's a good thing. So you can do some of this stuff without FATCA reporting. Just check into it to make sure that you're good on that. There's so many different rules and regulations, and this stuff changes year to year and from from, you know, each president's different than the last one, so you got to be careful. And this guy has actually tightened up the rules on a lot of reporting because he, you know, it's just getting crazy. Um, let's hope it loosens up if we get another administration there. We'll see what happens. You know, let's see. The only thing that's annoying about wire transfer, let's see. Robert Nagel says, my bank want to use their convert. Let's see, we did that one. Eula Lang says, Matapang says, good evening, Steve. Do you know with the SRV, do we need MBI clearance to leave? No, you just do the exit clearance. You do not need an MBI clearance to leave. No, you do the exit clearance. I mean, the exit thing. There's an exit pass. You call them up and tell them you want. You can actually do it online. Okay, and if you're working with Mary Rose, you can call Mary Rose and she can do it for you. Okay, but no, you do not need an MBI clearance to leave. So if you have the SRV, no, just call it for the exit pass and you get that. You can do it online. It's easy. I haven't done it because I haven't left, but I know people that have done it. I think that Justin did it and a few of the other guys did it. They said it was really easy. You just print it out afterwards and then you're done. You know, that's one of the good things about living here, because we've printed out some of those exit passes. They just sent it to me and I print it out for them. So Gregory Lamer says, I've been drinking Pepsi with real sugar. The stuff is addicting. Yes, it is. Lazy Larry Lee says, I started following Steven almost 2 years ago, and it still took me some time to watch all of his previous videos to catch up. Wow, 2 years, man. That's a long time. We've got a lot of really die-hard followers of this channel. I'm very thankful for those guys. I mean, we've had a lot of people follow this channel, and you know, we've become good friends. I think everybody on this channel is pretty close friends, and a lot of us have become friends with each other too, which is kind of cool. It's almost like a family, you know. So it's Francisco Fletes says, my SRV wire transfer to the DBP Development Bank of the Philippines took like 10 days for the PRA to get confirmation of deposit. That's different, the confirmation of deposit. They probably got it within 2 days though. But yeah, that development bank was very slow. I actually heard from Mary Rose about that. She was talking about that, and she says they're extremely, extremely slow. Francisco Fletes says, 2 days seems awesome. Yes. Carlos Jose, few weeks old subscriber here, 29. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Spanish 2001 says, hello from the Dominican Republic. I've been there before. That's actually another great country to go to, and I don't know if I'd want to live there, but it is a beautiful country. It has different issues than the Philippines though, you know, but I did like it there. I was actually married to a Dominican girl there for quite a while. Sinful says 24 inches of rain in 24 hours during typhoon. It was a lot of rain, man. A lot of rain. Was it 24 inches? That's incredible. Carlos Jose says, new sub here. I'm young and was naive, but you really opened my eyes and I'm grateful to you. Quick question, why are all Panays say I love you, I want to get laid so fast? Is this some sort of scam? Probably. You know, come over here and meet girls. Don't meet them online and stuff like that. A lot of the girls online are scammers. Just come here and meet a girl, you know, walk through the malls and stuff, and you can still meet scammers there too, so be careful. Just walk through the mall and you'll do fine. Robbie Rose says, much easier in time when crypto adoption worldwide. Francisco Fleta says, Wise has a limit of 480,000 pesos. Let's see. Sinful says, yes, my large wire was my startup fund. Okay. Too large to carry it. There was no reporting as the source of funds was from common knowledge of the source. Even the U.S. banks and government, etc., were aware. I know that you can settle more than 10,000, I believe, through Western Union and stuff like that sometimes, but then they put a hold on it, usually, and then they want to ask you some questions. And you just what you do is just call them up after and check on it, and just keep checking on it until you get it. They will send more than 10,000, you know. Sinful says, no shady source. LOL. Eula Lang Matabang says, yes, thank you, sir. Sinful says, Robbie Rose, I have Visa card connected to my crypto life. It's easy with that. Let's see. MM says, some banks may require you to provide the source of fund for AMLA compliance if you transfer material amount 500,000 K or more. Probably, yes. You're probably right about that. Or send money little by little. I mean, how can it hurt you? Do you need money that fast? If you know you got something coming up, just send it little by little, and it might be safer that way. Alan Garrettson, because I've seen people get money held for quite a long time. That's why you got to be careful. Alan Garrettson says, "Do you have an accountant who understands FATCA? Are they in the Philippines or the USA?" My accountant, I haven't talked to her about FATCA. I'm not sure if she's aware of FATCA in the US. I'll have to ask her about that. I think my lawyer might have some knowledge. That we do have a Filipino lawyer up in Manila, and she's really, really good. She might know that. I also have an attorney back home I can talk to if I have to. Robert Nagel says, "I still follow you and I'm moving to Thailand. Your information is oftentimes great and applies across borders." Yes, it does definitely cross borders, and even people in Mexico and Colombia that are Westerners living over there watch my channel, believe it or not, because I've gotten contacted by many of them asking me all kinds of questions. Even in Mexico, we actually have a lot of followers in Mexico, which is quite surprising actually. Let's see, big time. Let's see. The thing just popped up, so everything. Okay, big time 911 says your experience advantages and disadvantages of Dominican Republic compared to Philippines. Wow, that's a tough one. I think the way that people live there are different, and the women are different there. Dominican women are nice too. I just think it's a different world. I think it's hard to communicate. I would say that's one of the disadvantages of the Dominican Republic, unless you speak Spanish. I spoke a little bit of Spanish, so it kind of got me by there. I found the people very friendly and loving there too. It just didn't fit my lifestyle. I think that was the biggest one. Was it didn't fit my lifestyle because it was a Hispanic lifestyle, and that didn't fit me. And I think Filipinos are more Americanized than Dominicans are. Not to say that I didn't enjoy the Dominican lifestyle. I did. I liked it, but it wasn't for me to live there. I just don't think I could do it. It would have been hard with the Spanish thing, the language barriers and stuff like that, and the culture is much different. Although Filipinos have kind of a Spanish culture too, but the English here is really, really good. I think that was the biggest thing. Spanish 2001, I'm Dominican born, so it was an easy move, but I'm seriously looking into Philippines. Wasn't Subic while in the Navy. I mean, I still have a lot of Dominican friends back home. I have a lot of my close friends back home in Massachusetts, from Lawrence, Massachusetts. We're all Dominicans, I would say the majority of my friends, probably 80% of them back in the U.S. are Dominican. I have a lot of friends back there, Dominican friends, and we're still very dear friends. We still talk on occasion. So, Sinful says, "Steve, honestly, if you are continually sending an amount just under 10,000 on a regular basis, that will flag you quickly in the U.S." Maybe that's why that's why Western Union might have flagged me. I'm not sure. I might have been better off just sending the lump sum, but I'm not sure. But they did flag me, and then I filled out the questionnaire. They put me back up again, which I was kind of shocked that they did. I went back and checked to see if it would work, and it did. So I was back up. Francisco Fletcher says, "PRA travel pass. It's like a DA-31 military leave process. LOL. Need to sign out and sign back in from leave. LOL." Yes, it's kind of like that. It really is, Gregory Lamar, send wave, don't charge fees. High exchange rate. Big time 911. How do you do your taxes over there? I do them with H&R Block, but I wasn't too happy with them last time because they screwed up. I think they tried, but I don't want to try. I'm paying somebody a good fee and a good rate. I had to pump in all the information, and then I had them do the double check, and they screwed up during the check. So I was a little bit, pissed off about that, to be honest with you. Joseph Benai says, "Hello, it's good to have Navy Fed account in the United States, and a good bank here is Metro Bank." I actually have Metro Credit Union, which is different than Metro Bank. But yes, there's a lot of banks here that are okay banks. I don't really like any of the banks here, to be honest with you. I know China Bank is pretty decent. It's owned by BDO, or partially owned by BDO or something. BDO I'm not too happy with. but they're a necessary evil here, unfortunately. John Fetchko says periodically Microsoft and let me see, and Google say they say hey, don't know me. Anybody else experience this? Don't know how the. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Periodically, Microsoft and Google say they don't know me. I'm not sure what you're talking about, John. I'm sorry. Um, Tommy Bon Tommy says, "Hey, hello, Steve. Your last video about your daughter reaching out to you was really, really touching to watch. I wish you good luck on that. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna take it slow this time. I think if you go too fast, it just doesn't work out. We'll see how it goes." John Fetchko says, Rico VPN. Carlos Jose, leaving gold diggers and married women. What is the hardest red flag to spot or notice when meeting a Panay, be it online or in person again? I'm young and so understand that my hormones are in overdrive. What are the hard? If when they start asking you for lots of money, when they say they love you on the first time you talk to them or the second time you talk to them, you say, hey, we just met. You telling me on the phone you love me already? That's a red flag. Money, asking for phones, asking for load all the time. If you meet a girl with all those problems, you don't need to be with her. Load I can understand sometimes, but load doesn't cost that much. It doesn't cost that much. John Fetchko, having keyboard problems. Okay, I gotcha. Sinful says, Carlos Jose, if they ask for money after meeting in a short time, red flag. Yes. If you're going to meet them too, it's the same thing. Anything about money, beware. A relative died, I need money. Things like that, unless they can prove it to you. And even then, I wouldn't give them money. Lahim Sidhe says, did you hear about Citibank selling off its Philippine? Yes, to Union Bank. If so, thoughts on that? Citibank's really kind of strange, because they sold off the operations, and yet their credit cards are still giving a lot of things at some of the restaurants here, which is kind of interesting. And I was kind of glad to see that that's still here. And I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but I hope it lasts forever. Because they have some really good deals, like on Saturdays and stuff like that. You get 50% off or 20% off at some of these places, So I like Citibank. I have Citibank, and I think they're a good bank. But let's see. Michael L says, I do taxes with Tax Act online software. Yeah, there's software out there that's good, and I use the H&R Block software, but I wasn't happy. BJ says, my VA doctor is from the DR. She is a great doctor, but hard to understand. Sinful says, Michael L, I use H&R Block software, no issues. Carlos Jose, Sinfuls, that's the thing. This province girl refuses to receive a single dime from me, not even loads. However, she is incredibly pushy with us getting laid and marrying. I'd be careful about that, about the marrying part right away. Especially pushing it in from right from the beginning. I think you should get to know the girl for a while too. Just be careful. Michael L says he is taught, especially if you're going to bring him back to the States. Do not do that. Michael L, he is talking about 2FA. Is probably using another device or cleared his cookies, possibly. Sinful says, Carlos Jose, well, if you're uncomfortable, there is your red flag. I think Sinful's just nailed it on the head right there with that comment. I'd agree with him on that one. Dexter Derlin says, just finishing my time in the Philippines. I hope to meet you when I move here permanently. I would meet you, Dexter, if you want to. I do meet people here. I just tell people, I don't like to go up to Manila to meet people because it's just too much, because I've had a lot of people want to meet me up there. Unless you're going to do the SRV. If you do the SRV, I will ride up with Pax, and we'll drive you to Mary Rose. We will drive you to the bank to do your transfer from the U.S., and we'll drive you after that for your medical checkup. Pax charges $70 to do that, and so if you do the SRV, give me a call. Just email me and ask me for my phone number, and I'll let Pax know, and I'll ride up with him. I don't charge a nickel. I'll go with you the whole time. You can ask me all the questions you want. We can meet and have a good time, and it's kind of a fun day. Francisco Fletes says, so my previous landlord before I moved to my new house refuses to return my security deposit. That's common. It's 70K PHP. Do you think your lawyer can help me figure out legal options? It's been over 60 days. Wow. Um, yes, Francisco. Let's talk. Do me a favor. Call me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow during the day, and I'll give you Arlene's phone number. You can talk to her. 70K is a lot of money, man. You know, it's not something you want to just throw away, for sure. A lot of these people don't give that back though. Um, and I think the lawyer will probably tell you the same. But you can call her; she might just answer the question for you really quick, and not charge you anything for that. But you can contact her. She's really reasonable. She charges about 20 to 40 US an hour or something like that, depending on what you're talking to her about. So if you want to talk to her tomorrow, it's not gonna cost you that much. So she might, if it's just a couple minutes, she might just give you an answer real quick and not charge you at all. So yeah, let me know. Let me know tomorrow, please. Michael L says City Premier gives 3 times on dining, and with that discount, Philippine restaurants is nice. Yes. John Fetchko, did you get my test email with my VPN set to Florida? I believe I did. I saw it. You wrote test or something like that. I can't email you. I'm not sure. I didn't answer my latest emails, John. I did see somebody sending me a test email, and I wrote back, that I got it or whatever. I forget what I wrote, but yes. I'll check my emails probably tonight or tomorrow again. Okay, just FYI. Okay, Carlos Jose, is that they try to lock man in a? Is it that they try to lock a man in a marriage? Is it a common tactic used by Panache? Yes. Hypothetically speaking, what would be the first outcome if I marry a Panay without doing extensive homework? What could be the worst outcome? You can't get a divorce here in the Philippines. Number one, I think it could just become a huge mess. You wouldn't want to do that. You don't want to. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread, man. That's what I say. Be careful. Be really careful. It's not a place to rush into a marriage for sure. You know what I mean? Just make sure you're good with her. My girl, I talked with her online for 4 years. 4 years before I met her. 4 years. So that'll tell you. And she was willing to wait. Sinful says, Carlos, Jose, if you get married in the Philippines, you cannot get a divorce, only annulment, which costs a lot. If married in the U.S., she might be looking for a green card. Carlos, Jose, and thanks. You are old and much wiser. Thanks, man. I'm not sure about the old part. I hope I'm not, but I am getting up there. Carlos Jose says, and thanks. That's what I see. Francisco Flores says, thanks, Steve. I'll call you tomorrow. Okay. I think we're going to end here. We're getting up at 87 minutes, and we're at a good time. We're almost at the end here. BJ says, can you get cheaper airline tickets using VPN? I heard you can, but I don't know if that's true. I'm not sure. It might be a good thing to try the VPN and try to buy your tickets by VPN. Yes. I'm not sure why. I think it's because otherwise you have the IP address. They know where you are. They know where you're checking. So the VPN might surely be a way to get cheaper tickets. Try it and see. Can't hurt to try. You see the prices. Just lock them in if they're cheaper. See, good night. Let's see. Joseph says, you're wise. Thank you, man. Francisco Fletes, message retracted. Doug Smith, what is a good hotel to stay at near airport for about a week or so? There's a ton of hotels up there, and they're all decent hotels. Even some of the cheaper ones are pretty decent. It depends on how much you're gonna spend too. That's the thing. I don't recommend hotels, to be honest with you, because I don't stay at too many hotels. I see people staying at these different hotels up in Manila, and there's so many different places you can stay up there for fairly reasonable. And I don't see spending $100 or $200 a night is really needed up there. Some people are okay with that if they're wealthier or something, but I wouldn't want to spend that much. Let's see, Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Wow, 4 years. I'm like three with my girl. She's 56 now in Singapore, working her butt off still. Sinful says, Doug Smith, not sure in your budget, but I would recommend the Conrad Hotel. Conrad's a nice hotel. I mean, that's where the mall is too. It's right in the mall, and that's a nice place. The Conrad, if you can afford to stay there, stay there. Great place. I've actually seen the hotel from the outside too. I actually like that place. Let's see, John Fetchko with VPN. One cannot email Philippines. May dump it. Okay, that's interesting. Michael L, you can just shut off the VPN and then email. Okay. Michael L, Conrad Hilton is the best. Yes, it's very nice. There's also the place across the street. I think it's the Wyndham. I think it's right across the street from the Conrad. Is it the Wyndham? I'm trying to remember the name of it. Anyway, that place is great too. Conrad Hilton's best. Michael L, especially if you have Hilton points. Big time 9/11. Is there a VFW or American Legion near you? Not near me. There is up north near Subic. I don't know of anyone around here. Yeah, Microtel by Wyndham. Sinfuls just put up. Thanks for that, Sinfuls. Sinfuls like this is like the second half of my brain sometimes, because that's why I like having him on here, because he helps a lot, and he's a huge help on here. And kudos to Rich for helping us out on here, being the not just the moderator, but he's also a great addition to have on here. And I'm really thankful for Sinfuls coming on here, Rich coming on here and helping out on Saturdays, because he is a substantial help, and he's also a great friend of mine too, and him and Francisco and all those guys. But Sinfuls is a huge, great friend of mine, and I appreciate having him as a friend. Del Grady says, "Good night, sir. My daughters have set fire to their room, and I must go correct them." Okay. Yeah, we're going to end it here. We're up to 91 minutes. I'll read the other two more. Carlos Jose, apologies by older I meant wiser. I understand. I was just joking with you. This girl I am dating online, being together for 1 year, and she will wait for me until December 2023. The fact that she is down to wait points something good. Yes, it does. It does. Michael L says that Microtel Wyndham looks like a dump from the outside. Yes, it does. It doesn't look fancy, but people have said that they liked it. They says it's not the greatest, but it's not the worst, but the price is decent. I'm going to actually try to stay there probably within the coming months for at least one night. I want to go up there with my girlfriend and see if she likes it. And maybe go up there with a couple of the guys too, and we can have a night out at the Hard Rock Cafe or something like that. It'd be kind of fun. Rich, let's put that on our list. Maybe we get a couple other people to meet us up there. If you guys want to meet us up there, anybody in the Manila area, we can all meet up. We can put something together soon. I'll let you guys know. But anyway, guys, thank you. Sinful says, I feel the same. Steve, thanks. BJ, have a great night. Steve, thanks for the live stream. Good night to all. We'll be on here next week, guys. Okay, I will try to be on here next week, God willing, unless there's Wi-Fi or I'm sick or I go away or something like that. I will try to be on here next week, God willing. But sometimes, things happen and I'm not on here. Just come on a week later, because I am retired too. Okay, but thank you guys. God bless. Take care. I'm not going to read any more of these, but let's see. Simple says, I will go, but I will be across the street at the Conrad Hotel. So this is a great comment. But thank you guys. God bless. Take care. And we will probably see you next week, God willing. All right, thanks, guys. Take care.